We're going to take a look at automation in Pro Tools. So I'm going to the mixer page. I'm going to select one channel. I'm going to solo one channel just for the time being. Let's just make sure I have a loop on. So the loop on. There's my kick drum. There's 4 types of modes of automation that we see: read, touch, latch, and write. So the most common mode that you'll see is touch mode. And touch means the moment that you touch a parameter, it will create automation. So here's what I'm going to do is press play. You'll see that the button has turned red up above under automation. As soon as I let go, then it returns back into a red mode for the automation. I'm just going to select read. As soon as I press play, watch, it will play back that automation. There you go, there's down, goes back up. If I go in touch mode, I can override the automation at any point. As soon as it goes down, I can say, oh no, you're not going down. I'm going to grab it and change it. It's writing, and then it returns back to the previous automation. So there's creating automation. And then it returns back. So that is your basic touch mode. Latch mode, what it does is it sets the level of the fader until you press stop. So if I press play, it's going to move the fader, and then as soon as I grab the fader, as soon as I let go, see I haven't touched it anymore, as long as I'm playing, it will stay at that one level, which is great for setting vocals for a chorus and you want it to be static throughout the chorus, and then when you're done you just press stop and so on. That's latch mode. The next mode is write. Write is a dangerous mode. It's in red right here, as you can see. That means that it is writing the entire time. So as soon as I press play, it's overwriting the previous automation. So I have to be very careful when you're in write mode. Whenever you press stop, it'll go back to the previous mode, auto latch. You should, when you're mixing, be in touch mode. Is probably the most efficient mode of automation. And then we can get back into read when you're done. You will never submit a file to someone where the automation is still active unless they specifically ask for it, which is pretty much never. So with that soloed, I'm going to go back. I'm going to take a look. I'm going to zoom in on my bass drum. So there's my bass drum. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. And let's take a look at the automation. So you can view the automation by clicking on waveform. So if I click on waveform, I chose volume. So then there's all my volume automation. So there's a couple of ways of treating automation when you draw it in. So we have our Smart tool on, which is Command 7, or I could just press Command 6 to bring my draw tool, and now I'm going to draw in overlapping automation, as you can see. I can do Command Z to undo. I'm going to press Command 7 to bring me back to Smart tool. And Smart tool allows me to select a portion of the automation, pardon me, and then I can select the automation up above. I get this different tool. It becomes a bracket, and as soon as it becomes a bracket, I can push it up. So this would allow me to take the automation and keep it at the same relevance to one another, but move it up and down. So there's the automation for that. Let's see, there we go, and you can bring it up, and Pro Tools also tells you what it is. I can select all, a portion of it, and press delete, and then it removes that automation as well. So there's lots of things that can happen with that automation. I could also use the pointer tool right on a single point. So if I get on it, it will tell me up above what it is, and then I can readjust any singular point. And I can also, I think, bring it back in time. It's not allowing me to bring it all the way back, but you can see that I've brought it up as well. So let's say that I want to copy this. So I'm using my Smart tool. I'm going to select that. I'm going to copy with Command C, and then I'm going to put my cursor somewhere else. And then I can go Command V, and there we have an identical paste of that automation. So there's my automation pasted somewhere else. This is great for when you have a vocal track that you're copying over and you want to also bring the automation with it. You can copy and paste it at other portions, or if you like your automation on your drums to be the same throughout each verse, you can just copy and paste once you have it perfect. Automation works more than just for volume in pan. Automation can also include a plugin. So I'm going to insert a simple plugin, a simple EQ. So here we go, EQ Band 3. Now, right now it's in automation, is showing up at the top. If I click on this little button, I'm going to select all. I should have been able to select all. And then I'm going to add all to the automation. For some reason, Pro Tools wants to see all of this in an automation mode. You have to start it first before it'll work. So let's solo that kick drum again. I'm going to press play. Let's make sure that I have a repeated region that will work. I'm going to choose something that's a little longer. There we go, automation. And then when I press play, this is a really bad example of automation. So I'm not in an auto read mode. In the edit page, I can choose from here to be in touch mode. There we go. Now it says touch. So when I press play, I can change the automation. There you go. Now when I play back, you'll see that it will play back. There it is. Look, Mom, no hands. Yeah, it's working great. So I'm going to go back to read mode, and if you want to see that, that was what band did I move? I moved the frequency or something. So what we have to do is select volume, and you can see under band here that you would have to select one of these. Some programs are pretty decent that they will let you know what band you chose. I don't know if I lose low band frequency, if that's what it was. No. So low mid band, band pass, Q, you'd have to search through it. Most other programs, when you have automation on something, will put an asterisk beside it so you don't have to dig through and search for what it is. But it would show you the same thing, that it would show you a graph of what your automation is. And that is your basic automation for plugins, your basic automation for fader mixing, and your basic automation modes in editing in the edit page for Pro Tools.